The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now listening to the Allen and DJ Show on 103.5 FM WLSP-LP, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. We're here to talk about self-improvement, lifestyle, and becoming the very best version of yourself.
You're now listening to the Allen and DJ Show.
Yo, Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas, man. Y'all know what time this is, even though the weather's out there crazy right now. It's time for the Allen and DJ Show, man. And you know, I go by the name Allen.
And this is your boy DJ.
Dirty, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm cool. You know, Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas, man. You know, we cool. But you know, lately, man, I've been getting into a little bit of this and getting to a little bit of that. And you know, me and Bambi ain't been on the best of terms, DJ. You know, like, I just don't know what to do today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do, period, in general. You know, I've been thinking about, you know what? I got something to say. And you know what? I got it. I'm going to start standing up. I'm going to start standing up at work. I'm going to start standing up to Bambi the deer. I'm going to just start standing up in general. Because you know why? Some people are afraid of just a little bit of confrontation, but I'm not afraid of confrontation because I look confrontation. Wow, DJ, that's it.
Okay.
That's it, bro. Let's talk about it today.
Let's talk about
confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about confrontation today, man. You know, because a lot of people are going through these challenges right now where they're like, man, I really want this dude to get out of my house, or man, I really want this chick to go, or man, you know, I don't like the way my boss treated me, and I'm not happy. And it's, you know, you really want to confront this person, but you're afraid of the confrontation. So I'll tell you what, the Allen and DJ Show is here to help you face that fears, face your reality, and handle this confrontation. So without further ado, man, let's talk about bullet point number one. I want to talk about prioritizing safety. So when it comes to prioritizing safety, let's talk about addressing the situation.
Okay.
That's the first thing, DJ. So
absolutely.
How is addressing the situation important when it comes to dealing with confrontation, man?
Basically, like when you address the situation, like what that does is it helps you solve the situation before it escalates. And it also helps you overcome fears of taking on problems head on, basically.
I agree, you know, because a lot of people, they jump from 0 to 10 real quick.
Yep.
And, you know, sometimes like you have to take 2 steps backwards before you go 10 steps forward. So address the situation. So address the matter of the problem, whether if it's, you know that this person cheated on you, or whether if you know this person is talking about you behind your back, and it could have been something very personal that you could have been like, they couldn't have known that because you was the only one I told that to. So address the situation, and you want to be kind of using safety when you do this because you don't know what type of edge that a person could be on. So a person's behavior could be like threatening, or like it can escalate if you don't use the proper techniques and the concern as far as like, let me go into this, but like let me make sure that sometimes it's not about what you say. Sometimes it's all about how you say it.
Absolutely. Like, here's what's crazy about why we saying, like, that's number one for the bullet point, addressing the situation. The reason why we say that is so important is because a lot of people either try to run or avoid the confrontation because they don't want the backlash from it, or they don't want the results that comes with it, which can also be negative. And
you know, like, I remember like when one of our old managers used to say this back in the day. Shout out to Joyce, man. You know, she used to always say, Joyce, what's going on, Joyce, man? She used to always say, order to be a leader, you can't be afraid of confrontation.
No.
Friend or not. And we can all be boys.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not doing your job, you know, of course I'm going to come on some homeboys. They'll say, bro, come on, man. Dog, man, just tighten up and do your job. But before I lose my job, I'm going to have to give y'all a corrective action or vice versa. Because at the end of the day, you have a job to do.
Absolutely.
So, you know, sometimes, like, when it comes to confrontation, a lot of people don't want to do that because they're like, man, you know, I want my homeboys to think I'm tripping, or, you know, man, I want to look cool, and I want nobody not to say, oh, dang, you know, man, we don't want to mess with Al because he be on that fake stuff, or, you know, we don't want to mess with William J. Smith because, man, dog, he wrote me up, he a op now, and all that childish stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, in order to go into this thing the right way and address the situation, first off, you come to a person and say, hey, X, Y, and Z was saying this. Is it true? And if it's true or not true, then, you know what I'm saying, you address it, like the situation as such. But you always want to de-escalate it before you escalate it.
Absolutely.
And bullet point number 2, remove yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is important, DJ, because when it comes to confrontation, why is it important to remove yourself in case if the confrontation kind of goes up a little bit?
Okay. First I'm going to tell you, like, why it's so important. Then I'm going to kick the bucket back to Al. But then when he comes back to me, I'm going to give you an example of, like, why it's important to remove yourself. So let me start by saying, like, the reason why you want to remove yourself is because it keeps the situation from escalating, and it also either protects you or protects the person that you're confronting.
That's true. That's true, because when you want to remove yourself from the situation, like I always say, like, if you see that, okay, you address the situation. So that's what we talked about first, right? Now, that person getting all hostile. Man, dude, what you talking about? Man, on my life, bro. You know, and all that other stuff, you know. Now you getting all crazy. You know what? Like my mom used to say, you know, let it go, walk away. Or Pops used to be like, hey, man, you always want to de-escalate before you escalate it, because if y'all both going at each other and y'all both look like fools, because from a distance we can't tell who is who. Ooh. Y'all both look like fools chomping at each other. Whether if you could have been in the right and I could have been in the wrong, but you arguing with me, now we both look crazy. So if DJ walking in or Will walking into the situation, we both looking crazy because we both chopping each other head, and you don't know who is who because, like, y'all just going at each other. So I always say remove yourself if possible if you see the situation like getting really heated or getting really escalated. Like, that's why I always say, hey, I got a problem. Can I talk to you about it a little later? And then I always try to find a safe place. Where if I'm in a store and we work together, and you know, like I'm gonna pull you in the back, or whether if we at my job, you know, like I'm gonna pull you somewhere in a safe place where we can talk about this and get this hashed out as men, or, you know, like, or ladies, y'all could talk about it like as women, you know, get y'all stuff out. And we don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree. That's fine.
Absolutely.
But, you know, we want to do this thing safely as possible. But now if I throw the alley-oop to DJ, if it's getting to the point where you like, dude, you know what? Okay, you don't got to talk to me like that. Okay, but you need to relax. Like, all I'm saying is this. Now, this is what all right, mama, you know what? You got it. And walk away.
Absolutely. That was good, Al. But let me give y'all an example of, like, why it's so important to, like, remove yourself. Like, it was a situation that happened with my friend. For the sake of the podcast, I'm not going to give his name. But I'm going to just give a fake name. I'm going to say the name Tay. Tay was in a situation where he was at a spot and he was about to go to the bathroom, and like 6 people confronted him. And I came out of nowhere. It was like, hey, Tay, you good? What's up? All the dudes that were like around him, like looking at me like, man, who dude? Like, I ain't never seen dude before.
Right.
And I'm like, are you good? And Tay was like, yeah, I'm good, bro. But I appreciate you looking out. And I just walked back over to my seat. Then all the dudes, they ended up walking back to their seats or whatever. So the confrontation basically got de-escalated because I came through. But Tay, they don't know that Tay is an actual UFC fighter. And he has fought like collegiately and he has fought professionally. So, and they were still at the table, like still talking smack or whatever. And they was like, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. I hope he come outside. And I was like, Tay, just calm down, chill. We good. If anything goes down, you know I got you. But maybe it's the best thing to do is to remove yourself because you might end up really killing one of these cats.
No, for real.
And he was like, okay, cool. For once, big homie, I'm gonna take your advice. He usually called me big homie. So he was like, I'm gonna take your advice. So what he did was he was like, let me pay my tab. And he paid his tab and he was like, I'm out of here. But thanks for the love, big homie. I was like, all right, appreciate you. He left. Situation done. And then he came back the next day, and they came back the next day. From what I've heard, is that they resolved the issue. So basically, him removing himself from the issue basically de-escalated itself.
The whole situation. You know, I'm gonna hit it with this. A lot of people could be still living if they learn how to de-escalate the situation.
Absolutely.
You know, like, and then especially us as men. You know, like. Real alphas would be like, man, you know what, man? I'm gonna chop it up with you man to man because I got a problem with what you did or said, and I want to address you as a man.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell a beta when you see one. He gotta get all loud in front of a female, like when her validation, their attention, like he want to be, I'm tough, man, dude. You look like a clown. So, you know, like, real dudes gonna just like, you know what, bro? Like, man, you know what? Dude, this ain't a good spot to talk about this right now. I'm going to holler at you outside, Dirty. You know what I'm saying? Let's go outside and go handle this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whether we fight it out or whether we talk it out. And, like, I don't condone no violence. But, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you must have to learn how to defend yourself. But, yeah, because I call DJ and this crew Big Homie all the time. Because, boy, like, man, Big Homie be protecting me in the gym. I be like, it's real. Like, DJ be like, man, you know what I'm saying? We working. Yep. And, you know, that's confrontation right there. I want to see Allen. Hey, man, we working. Then I be like, yeah. Hey, the DJ like, hey, come on now. See, Al? Like, look, man, I got him leaving. I'm like, all right, DJ, man, you got it. But, you know, man, I got to be the one in that background always talking that stuff. Like, I was the one for the top porch. Your mama got a big head. Allen, what you say? Come outside. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, because it be tough, my cousins come around. But no, man, like, lay all jokes aside. But, you know, and I want to really dive into bullet point number 3. Like, don't engage if you don't feel safe.
Absolutely.
So now, look how we breaking the situation down. So
Absolutely.
we address the situation.
Yep.
Situation get crazy, you learn how to remove yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is this important when it comes to don't engage if you don't feel safe?
This is important, and like my viewpoint on it might be different from Al's, but like let me spin it this way. The reason why you don't want to engage when you don't feel safe is because like what'll happen is like, let's say you actually engage and address the situation. If people see that you have some type of fear when you engage or approach the situation, people will take advantage of that situation if they see some type of fear or you
No, for real.
like joke or like you joking too much, or like if you get to the point to where like you're fidgeting too much, or if you have a crack in your voice all of a sudden, like at first you talking to us regular, but then all of a sudden you like, but like you have that type of voice and all of a sudden it's like, hold on, bro. Now that person knows that you fear that you're fear of that confrontation, or you don't want that confrontation to escalate. So because you don't want that confrontation to escalate and they know that, they can manipulate that situation now.
Oh, man, facts. You know, like, that's one thing that you like, I always say this, man. Like, that's one thing that you don't want to do is show fear, or like a man looking you in your eyes and you going like this. No, hey, bro, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. You know, like, you don't want to do that. But just don't engage if you don't feel safe. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, you address the situation. Now this person getting bickering, you know, they been yelling to the top of their lungs, or, you know, now they threaten to use physical harm and threaten to do body harm to you, then I wouldn't engage in it if you don't feel safe. Like, if you see him around 20 of his homeboys, and, you know, they might have, like, some type of weapon on them, and that could be anything, you know, you like, nah, you know what? This ain't today. I ain't even finna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm outnumbered. I ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when it comes to that, like, don't argue or don't try to reason with anyone if you don't feel safe, if they try to threaten you and threaten others around you, because some people make threats, but they end up acting on it. And a lot of people then got their lives unlived because of pride.
Absolutely.
So it's not worth it, man.
Absolutely. And in some situations, like, it's better to avoid confrontation. Like, it's not good to avoid all confrontation, but it's good to avoid certain confrontations because, like Al said, like, you want to avoid the escalation, or you want to avoid the situation from being further escalated, man.
Yeah. You know, because if I'm talking to you now first, you know, like, we started off cool. And then, you know, like, bro, man, D, I'm just saying, though, dog, because I feel like as a man, you know what I'm saying, you don't respect me. And you and Will, man, like, y'all be, hey, bro, dog, you don't got to talk to me like that. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Pipe your voice down, dirty. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you like a man. Or, man, bro, like, man, like, who you talking to, bro? Hey, dude, stop trying to sharpen all these, because, like, I'm type of cat, like, I'm going to call you out. Stop trying to sharpen all these females, man. Absolutely. It's you and me. I'm talking to you right now. Mm-hmm. But that's why I said before, I'd rather go to a public place where we can talk. Because, like, some people got to be all extra in front of their friends and stuff just to make it look like, you know, they're not soft or nothing. Ain't nothing being soft about de-escalating the situation if you can. Not sometimes it's smart to use your head.
Yep.
So, well, I'm going to try to act all tough around 40 dudes. Or, man, I take all y'all on, man. You know what I'm saying? Out me if you got to, then... You're done.
Now you're dead.
and like, nobody gonna say in the end, dang, Al went out like a gangster. Nah, man, you went from a hero, now you a zero. So, you know, like, basically, like, the moral of the story is use your head, man. Don't engage if you don't feel safe. So, you know, you see 30, 40 cats out there, and you're like, hey, homie, look, we can talk about this tomorrow, man. You got too many of your homeboys around, man. I ain't like, I know y'all not trying to jump me or nothing. So, you know, be smart, man. But bullet point number 4, man, you know what I'm saying? Stay calm.
Oh, yeah.
Always stay calm and neutral throughout the situation.
Oh, that's good.
But DJ, eat on this one, man.
It's good. Like, what staying calm does is, like, it basically helps you think of solutions to solve the confrontation while you're in the confrontation. Mm-hmm. But it also helps relax and calm other people around you. So, like, when you're confronting that person, if you come at him calm, it might actually calm him down, or it might actually calm her down.
Yeah.
It's like if she coming at you yelling and you come at her and be calm and be like, hey, don't yell at me like that. Hey, talk to me properly. Hey, what is really going on? You see how calm I was when I said that? Now she be like, okay, here's the problem. Exactly. Now she's going to address the problem in a calm manner.
Exactly. You know, like how I was saying before, you know, like, I don't really argue with females, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's weak of us as a man to go back and forth with a woman. Yes, you can get your point across because, you know, you can't be ran neither. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing weak about you as a man. So, you know, let's say she come in the house all tensed up. And, you know what I'm saying, she coming in with confrontation. Man, how come this ain't done? And why you didn't do it? And plus, I called you 5 times and you didn't. Hey. Baby, I'm right here. Talk to me. You don't got to do all that. I'm right here. Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with you? How was your day? My day was all bad because my man. Hey, okay, calm down. Rub her shoulders a little bit if you got to. You know what I'm saying? Or just hold her. You know what I'm saying? Like, caress her back a little bit. Hey, man, look, you don't got to do all that. I'm right here. What's going on?
Especially if she in pain, she really go snap
Exactly.
Off.
Yep.
And especially, you know, she could be on that time of the month.
Yeah,
so,
especially that time of the month.
You know, you got to understand women and not be too sensitive. Oh, man, bro, lately, I like the way she been treating me. Bro, she going to be like that for about 3 or 4 days. And then women going to have multiple different types of emotion. But you got a lot of dudes that are emotional like women. But I ain't going to get into all that. But when she's tripping like that, you have to always stay calm. Yeah. You have to be the alpha in the situation. Like, you got to be the man that she can say, dang, you know what? I feel like I could talk to him about anything. Or, like, I done have women always tell me, how you stay so even-keeled? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to I'm not gonna get too defensive because I always stay calm. Like, and if you gotta like calm down, take deep breaths. Like sometimes like it get over hostile at work. You know, you see like certain people getting into it, and you're like, man, I don't want to get into all that. Like this is too much. Let me calm down a minute. But try to avoid getting defensive in arguments as well.
Absolutely.
So if I say, hey, Will, I got a question, bro. Like I had like $50 laying around on the table, man. Did you take it? Bro, you coming at me like that out of all people? Really? Dude, oh my God. Bro, how can you do me like, bro, calm down. Just asking you a question. Now,
Yeah.
I can give it to you from another standpoint. I'm going to kick the bucket to DJ.
Yep.
Al, I have $50 laying on the table. Have you seen it? Nah, bro. Like, man, I haven't even seen it. But do you know, like, the last place where you might have had it at? Like, besides putting it on the table? Man, I don't know, bro. Like, because I'm finna take it out to go pay a bill. But now, hey, maybe I can help you find it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, help him think about his last steps that he traced. And then, or two, you can say, nah, bro, like, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to steal money, man. Now, this is if the situation gets to the point where, like, they're trying to accuse you.
Yep.
Bro, do it look like I need to take some money? Hey, the Allen and DJ fans out there, do it look like we need to take money? No. So, you'd be like, no, like, I haven't done that. Okay, so what makes you think that I took the money? That means you stand calm, you stand even kill. I'm not getting defensive.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, sweetheart, you got me played all wrong. Or, nah, homie, you got me played wrong, dirty. Like, I don't have to take from nobody.
Absolutely.
And you leave it right there.
Absolutely. And, like, the one thing about being calm, too, is that what I've learned over the years is a calm person is a feared and dangerous person. Like, the last thing you want to do is to make a person that's calm upset, because if you get them to point 10, if you get them from level 1 to level 10,
Yeah.
it's over, because you're a dead man or
Exactly.
a dead woman walking.
Exactly.
So it's best, if that person is calm, is to keep him there so he could be able to handle the situation the proper way.
Exactly. Like, that is like, I'm going to come to you, DJ. Like,
Yeah.
like you remind me like a lot of like, and that's how my pops is as well. Like,
Yeah.
they calm individuals. They cool.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start coming at them the wrong way, it's like you could kind of see it coming. When you're like, hey, bro, chill. Like, DJ getting a little hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and we just said this a lot back in the day. Hey, man, let's leave dude alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dirty gonna come back around when he ready. Then when you keep doing it, then all of a sudden they been snapped on you. Now all of a sudden I just see this a lot. People come back crying to me. I can't even talk to me like that. That hurt my feelings. I told you to leave that man alone. The man was already on edge. You can't tell this man is on edge. Like, that's my dirty. Like, man, I've been doing dirty for almost 15 plus years. Leave dude alone. When I say it ain't the time, hey, dog, fall back from dude right now. Dirty, you know what I'm saying? So that is like, me and Will know DJ to the core.
Yeah.
So, DJ just an even kill dude, man. He usually like in a neutral space, is what I like to call it. He's not mad and he's not too overly excited. He just always neutral. And that's what makes us different. I'm more outgoing, the goofy type.
Yeah.
And some days, DJ he joke a lot from time to time. Like, he got that jokey side to him. That's why people didn't see that. It was like, dang, DJ fun as a mud.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's times where you just like, all right, yeah, it's one of these days. So you in the car, you just see it. You're like, yeah. All right, hey, so me and Will know how to play it because we've been around him so long. We just be like, all right, Will, what's going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, DJ would come around. But what I'm trying to say, the more of the story is, it's like, you want to stay calm, man. Like, don't try to go back and forth with somebody, because, like, that's not going to work, man. Like, all you going to do is really escalate the situation. And then bullet point 5, response. Well, respond naturally and neutrally.
Yeah.
So why is this so important, DJ, when it comes to trying to deal with confrontation?
Basically, like, what it does is it helps you solve the situation faster and more effectively. But it also gives you multiple situations on how to handle the situation.
Yeah. So, like, if I'm, like, coming up to the Allen and DJ fans and I say, hey, I got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you wronged me by saying this in front of other people. then like I would take it from a from like a standpoint of me responding neutrally. Like I'm not loud and I'm not soft-spoken, but I'm gonna get my point across because I feel like I'm talking to an adult, another human being. So I always say speak in a calm and natural tone of your voice because, you know, like the tone of your voice can set it off.
Yep.
Man, you know what, dude? I got to talk to you right now. You're like, what? Man, I got to talk to you about these contracts, Will. Then you're like, dude, okay, bro, calm down. Dude, like, okay, bro. Like, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. But, bro, you got to talk to me like that. Yay, I heard it's your company. You the man. Really? So now, like, you starting something. Because then, you know, naturally that Will's going to pop back. And then you're going to pop back more than you see how you just started to escalate something. Yep. And it didn't have to go there. You can say, Will, later on, man, we get a chance, bro. Like, we got to look over these contracts, man, because I feel like I'm not getting my fair share. I looked at the annual report, and I feel like I'm missing a lot of points, and I produced a lot of shows, man. So what we going to do about this? Yeah. Which is like what we'll probably end up going to go through in the future. But it's not about what you say at the end of the day. Sometimes it's all about how you say it.
Absolutely. And basically, like, no matter how big the situation gets, you want to handle it the same way all the time.
For sure. Like, even if somebody coming at you wrong and say, hey, DJ, I had $100 last night, and it was sitting on, you know, like, in my jar in my room. Man, bro, like, dude, like, you the only one here. How you going to respond, DJ?
Basically, I'm going to tell him, like, hey, I ain't do it. Like,
simple.
I'm gonna keep the same answer. I ain't do it. Well, even if they go off and keep saying like, "Oh, well, you was the only one here," I'm gonna be like, "I ain't do it.
I ain't do it."
Keep it calm. I ain't do it. That's my natural response. I ain't do it.
And you can tell somebody did it because they looking like, "Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't gotta take nothing for nobody, bro." You like, dog? Like, I ain't say you did.
Like, come on, man. You know I'm your boy. I don't do that. Like that type of stuff.
Right. I ain't say you did. I just asked you a question.
Yeah.
You know, so you know how that go, man. And I like this one right here because this is the interesting bullet point, man. You know what I'm saying? Using I in statements.
Oh, okay.
Now, why is this important, DJ, when it comes to trying to you know, de-escalate a situation and learning how to deal with the confrontation?
Basically, like what this does is it helps improve communication, increase trust, and strengthens relationships.
Right.
But it also holds you accountable for the situation. Basically, meaning like you're taking responsibility for your own feelings while describing the problem.
Yeah, you know, like because like it shows growth and maturity. So
absolutely.
Instead of me saying, "Hey, you know, me and so-and-so wouldn't do that," because you're like, bro, like, wake up on me in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a couple times I was drinking my Powerade, chilling. Yeah, because me and Allie had to do it. Hey, bro.
Spit out his juice.
Right. He's like, man, I'll never forget them, like, dirty, like, just like, I ain't going to say his name. You know, like, when he did what he did at the sports bar a long time ago.
Yeah.
Trying to prove that he was alpha. Hey, Al, DJ, am I doing it right? Winked his eye. I said, bro, don't use me. Don't use my name. I don't know what you talking about. So don't use like me and him. Well, when you know, like when me and Will come around, we'll be having to take from them. But hey, bro, hold on, Lo, don't be saying my name. You know what I'm saying? So,
hold on, Lo.
Like, you know, or two, you know, they be like, who's all over there when my money got taken? Somebody. Funny you mentioned that. It was me, DJ, Will, Sheon, you know, I got my boy Drew, you know, and yeah, you know, just 5 of us kicking it in here. He's like, hey man, who you talking to on the phone, bro? like, Dirty, hold on, man. Hey, hold on, Dirty. Don't mention my name. Hey man, don't do that. So, you know, like, you want to say I, like, nah, like, I can't speak for nobody else, but I wouldn't do anything like that. Or, you know, I wouldn't try to hurt your feelings or no, I don't roll like that as far as, like, talking about you in front of other people. Like, that's not me, or I have not seen your money. I have not stolen it. I can't speak for Will or DJ because they're their own person. But, you know, when you say I am statements, it's helping you express your feelings, your boundaries without blaming the other person. So it helps me be able to say, hey, like, this is what I wouldn't do. I can't speak for them. I believe they wouldn't either. But I can only speak for myself right now. You know what I'm saying? Or yes, who's all in the crib? Well, obviously, you know, we was all here. Mm-hmm. Well, who took the? Hey, I can't speak for them. Like, I can only say for me, I have not taken no money. I have not seen them do it either. But I'll let them speak for themselves. And that way, I'm taking responsibilities for my own action without having to drag anybody else in it.
Absolutely. And also, you want to do phrases like I feel, I need, I would like, and that basically expresses your own thoughts and your own feelings.
Exactly. Because, like, you could say, well, what I need from you is to be more attentive to what's going on. Because I feel like as of lately, you know, me and you have been, like, really distant, and I'm not feeling that. Or, you know, you could say, hey, I feel like sometimes, you know, like when we get in front of, like, other coworkers, you know, you don't respect me as a man. And I have a problem with that. So I figure, like, I'm going to come to you first and I'm going to let you know this is how I'm feeling. That's the way that you properly address a situation. And like, notice, I didn't get loud. And say, hey, man, I got a problem with you, man, because I feel like as a man, you ain't addressing me. And I just got a problem with that, bro. How you think the next person going to respond? Like, they going to snap on you. Yep. If not, curse you out. So, you know. It's all about ways of handling stuff, man.
Will over there died.
Then, you know, it's true.
Yeah, you're right.
But bullet point 7, listen like very, very, very actively.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Now, DJ, this is important because when it comes to somebody dealing with confrontation, a lot of people only want to believe their side and not listen to the other person's side. So break that down for us, DJ.
Basically, like what listen actively does is basically it gives you clarity on the situation and it helps you communicate with the other person you're confronting. But it also helps you read body language so you can respond or address the situation.
Exactly. So if I see you know, like one of my dirties at work, and let's say, you know, he's sitting out there on the bench, and I'm like, okay, this is a perfect shot for me to talk to him. So remember, we're going through all the steps. We address the situation. If that person getting too negative, then I always say either remove yourself or don't engage. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when y'all talking to each other and, like, you know, y'all expressing, like, how y'all feeling, y'all problems or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying, listen actively. And what I mean by that is, like, don't try to look at things just from your perspective. Try to look at things from their perspective, even if you don't agree. You know, like I could say, well, I can see why you probably feel like that because if I was in a situation like I would probably feel like that too. Mm-hmm. But this is how I'm feeling. Like I feel like X, Y, and Z. You know, I feel like, you know, you're not doing this. You're not doing what you need to do to make sure we accelerate as a team.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So then like that way, we both are listening, and we both are talking in like an even tone. Nobody's bickering at nobody. Nobody's yelling at nobody. Like nobody's not trying to like out-muscle the other person. And, you know, sometimes, like I always say, sometimes even when you're having a disagreement, let them get whatever they got to get off their chest. Yep. And then what's like the most mature thing to do? Like this is like I would say. So, like, I would ask them, like, if they got done saying whatever they need to say, I don't care if you're speaking for 15 minutes. I'm the type of dude that's going to be quiet because I don't want to miss nothing. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to ask you, are you done? And then they say, okay, yeah, I'm done. Okay. Well, I heard everything you said, and I can see why you felt that way. But I don't agree with it because this is why. There you go.
Absolutely. And let me give y'all just a couple steps on, like, how to deal with somebody when it comes down to confrontation, when it comes down to listening actively. What you want to do when you listen actively is step 1 is basically listen. So basically you want to listen to that side of the person's argument before you even respond. Listen first. Second, look at their body language and see how they're approaching the situation. If it's a hostile situation, you know how to react. Like you either need to de-escalate it right away. Yep. Or you might have to use the same gestures that they're using, depending on it's case by case, situation by situation. Third of all, talk. The third step is talking. Like after they get their point across, you need to get your point across. Then after that, after y'all done both talked, now you need to respond with answers.
Agree, and I like that. And then even when it comes to like bullet point number 8, being respectful. Like let's be respectful of each other's time and space. So what I mean by that when it comes to dealing with confrontation, like I'm gonna be respectful and listen to you, even if I don't agree. Like I don't have to agree, but I can remain respectful by body language, by my choice of words that I'm using, and like the sound of my voice. Like you want to always just be calm, even if you're super angry. Like you can find out, like, dang, yeah, that person did talk about me, because they wouldn't have known that, because I was the only one that told you that. But I gotta check my ego. I gotta be like, okay, I'm gonna go in here cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already hot, but it's not the way to handle it.
Absolutely. And basically what being respectful does is it calms the other person down that's being disrespectful. So if you coming at that person respectfully, like, how am I instead of you raising your voice, they might be raising their voice at you, but instead of you raising your voice back at them, you basically solving the problem by saying, like, how can I help? Or what can I do to make the situation better? And then they slowly calm down and be like, well, I need you to do this. And you be like, okay. And they don't have no reason to snap no more because you was like, okay. Meaning like you basically got them from level 10 to level 1 just in a matter of like 1 second.
Exactly. That's all we got to do is just respect each other, remain calm. And, we don't got to do that extra rah-rah stuff. And then also address, one issue at a time. That's the next bullet point I want to talk about. Absolutely. So, when you're addressing one issue at a time, DJ, like, how do you do this when you're trying to deal with confrontation?
What I would do is basically, like, because we know some issues have multiple issues that you need to address. Like, when I take one issue at a time, what I do is, like, find that issue, the deep-rooted issue. Yep. That is the problem. And when you dissect that and when you solve that, then all the other problems will actually solve themselves.
There you go. I am, perfectly said. Because, man, it's like when I'm addressing one issue at a time, don't try to argue about multiple issues simultaneously. Don't try to, okay, you did this, and then the other day, like when we was here at dinner, and you got in front of Cassie, and you said this, and okay, bro, look, you all over the place. You all over the place. Like, look, let's get to the root of the problem. So you think that I'm talking about you behind your back, right? So what makes you think I'm talking about you behind your back? Like, let's talk. If we gonna talk, let's talk about it. Let's get to the deep rooted issue of it. Or okay, if you felt that way, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that you felt that way. Or matter of fact, I didn't know that you even felt some type of way. So what can I do moving forward to make this situation better? Absolutely. And then what can we do from here to make sure other loopholes and other fires don't get, started? Like, because, the goal is to try to de-escalate it before you escalate it. And that's just the best thing I tell anybody, man. Just try to address one issue at a time. Like, because then it's going to be just a flux of things that's going to start to come out if you snatch that rug and you're trying to do too much. But then, bullet point number 10. Engage in an activity that boosts your emotional well-being. So I like that, DJ, because now, like, I want to get them like some type of conclusion in therapy that they can do to learn how to deal with confrontation.
Basically, like, you just want to find them activities that you can either do together or separate that can provide a distraction from the actual problem. So basically, like, an example of that would be like, take them out to like a sporting event or something, or exercise. Exercise is a great distraction, dude. or even shopping. Like sometimes, like when I shop and like shop for like fragrances and stuff, that distracts me from like what's really going on. And when I smell that fragrance, I'm like,
yes, sir.
Forget what's going on over there. Like,
yes, sir.
I'm finna smell good tonight.
Like, man, like I remember, like even sometimes, like even if you're going through a breakup, you know, I know the first thing to do. I'm like, yo, DJ, man, let's go get some fragrances, bro.
Yep.
Or vice versa. Al, let's get you out the crib, bro. We're gonna get some fragrances, man. We gonna, you know, like you take your stuff out shopping and then, you know, you forget about the problem because you be like, look, this is what relaxes me. I got too much going on over here. And maybe just get to the point where you figure like, hey, I can't deal with this person on an emotional level. It's stressing me. It's draining me. So I'm gonna engage in activities that's gonna not only boost my emotional well-being, but like bring my self-esteem back to feel like I'm still Al. You know what I'm saying? Bring a part of you back. You know. Mm-hmm. And the last bullet point, man, like if you feel overwhelmed, try to seek for help and support.
Absolutely. Like sometimes life does get rough, man, and overwhelming. Yeah. So you sometimes might need people to be in your corner and to help you. Like what we need to do as like a society, like as a whole, is basically kill that lone wolf mentality. Meaning like you want to solve every problem by yourself, or somebody asks you, "Are you okay?" or "You need help," and you be like, "Nah, bro, I got it." Nah. Maybe you might not have it. Like maybe if that person actually helps you, he can or she can provide a solution that you might not would have came up with by yourself.
So true, man. You know, anytime we get to that point, you know, talk to a family friend or even a counselor, or you know, or maybe like a mentor that you might even have. But or, you know, it could be anybody that you trust. You know, just talk to somebody, and you know, try to get your feelings managed and try to, you know what I'm saying, try to stay even keel and stay under control. But let's talk about the Allen and DJ's final thought, DJ. So, DJ, what's the final thought that you want to give to people out here when it comes to like dealing with confrontation?
Absolutely. Basically, you want to address the situation, and you'll win that situation because a lot of people either avoid or run from the situation. So basically, you want to address the situation. And if you have to remove yourself, or if you don't need to engage in the situation, if it properly doesn't fit you, then that might be the best solution as well. So it's not just a clear cut dry solution that if you address like some situation, like if you address it, then it might get worse. But some situations, if you remove yourself, it might get worse. So it's the situations is case by case, situation by situation. So what I would do is just address the situation. Then if that doesn't work, then remove yourself. Then if that doesn't work, then basically try your best not to engage in the conflict.
Well said, DJ. You know, for me, for minor like interactions or questionable actions with small consequences, just consider letting it go, because everything is not worth it, you know. For serious situations, if it gets to the point where it's getting rough, try to seek for help. But be more assertive when you talking to somebody, because that is the key. Don't take everything so personal. And, you know, most importantly, man, just know your limits. Just know who you're dealing with and know who you are confronting. And once you do that, you just became the very best version of yourself. Now, this is the Allen and DJ show. You can find us on Instagram at Allen Hutchinson, which is my personal page, or you can also find me on Facebook at Allen Hutchinson. And you can find William J. Smith on Instagram and Facebook. And then you can find the Allen and DJ show fan page on Facebook. You can find the Allen and DJ show on YouTube. Subscribe, man. It don't take nothing to hit that like button and subscribe. And most importantly, you can find us at the Allen and DJ show at gmail.com. If you have anything or any questions or any topics that you want us to talk about. And until next time, man, this is how you deal with confrontation. And just try to prioritize safety, or else I'm going to give confrontation some confrontation, because we just want to stay well, stay healthy.
Peace.